stones in themselves are not that heavy. But once you get a collection of the stones, the weight in the bucket gets quite significant. That's what it's like with unforgiveness. There are little things that people do all the time that wrong us. But if we don't choose to forgive, then it's like loading up a bucket full of stones, and we get to carry it around. This week we looked at the parable that Jesus told of the unforgiving servant. We discovered together how the servant was forgiven much and he'd gone out and claimed what was rightfully his from somebody else, how the master got so upset with him. Why? Because he'd been forgiven a lot but couldn't bring himself to forgive others. You see, Jesus has forgiven us an awful lot, but we're very good at filling our bucket with stones of unforgiveness. And the ideal place for this to start is actually in our homes. Parents, we've got to take responsibility for some of the things that we do in the home. I think of times when as a mum I've said, yes, I'll take you to the movies, and then I didn't do it. I'd wronged my kids and I needed to ask for their forgiveness. Or when I said, yes, I'll be there at a certain time, and then didn't pitch up. We're very good at asking our kids to say sorry to each other. But when it comes to us taking the initiative, that's a little bit more challenging. I wonder, what are some of the areas that you struggle with in unforgiveness? Are there people in your life who you find it difficult to forgive because they've wronged you? See, forgiveness is deciding that someone who has wronged you doesn't have to pay. This is not letting them off the hook. Actually, it's letting you off the hook. God has forgiven you a whole bunch, and we can too forgive others. As parents, we're often in the situation where we've got our children coming to us and there's been an argument or something to be resolved. And we find ourselves saying, say sorry to this other person. The reality is forgiveness has to come from the heart. It's not a matter of just words. It's making a choice. It's deciding that someone who has wronged you doesn't have to pay. Forgiveness is about emptying our bucket. It's about taking these things that have happened to us and go, you know what? God can deal with these. We don't have to get revenge ourselves. Here's the challenge for us as families this week. Let's be upfront with forgiveness. When something happens and someone wrongs us, let's take that and decide they don't have to pay. Let's do it from the heart. Let's tell our family how we felt when they wronged us. That's certainly something we have to do. But to hold it against them all the time, that just is destructive for us as a person. You see, when we empty the bucket of all these little bits of weight, these stones, the bucket's lighter and we feel better. We have peace in our heart. You see, our stones are like our hurts, our anger. We would like our homes to be places of peace, a place where everyone can feel like they are somebody, a place where it's okay to take risks and make mistakes. Let's model forgiveness this week in our families. It will be a wonderful opportunity to have a conversation around your table about how you feel when people wrong you. What are some of the times that you find it very hard to forgive? Maybe you'd like to take the first move as parents and tell your children of times when you've struggled with unforgiveness, and then how you were able to overcome that, knowing that Jesus forgave you much so you can forgive others. Forgiveness is deciding that someone who's wronged you doesn't have to pay. Feels much better, doesn't it?